Hello, it's Holly Rustic here with Grant Writing and Funding, and welcome to the Grant Writing and Funding YouTube show. All right, I got some great things in store for you today, specifically if you are thinking about becoming a freelance grant writer or nonprofit consultant, or maybe you've recently started your business, but you just kind of did it on the fly and you are not sure if you have all your steps together. So I'm going to give you my 8 steps to getting your freelance grant writing, business, or nonprofit consultancy set up. And if you want templates and goodies for all of the things that we talk about today, of course, I have a course that goes over that, right? So you'll definitely find information below, because I know sometimes doing this and starting your business in a silo, I can give you all the steps, but man, oh man, wouldn't you love some feedback? Wouldn't you love to kick around some things with somebody like yours truly, who has been doing this for a long time? All right, so do check out the links below. All right, so are you ready for the 8 tips? Step number 1. Open up your business properly. What do I mean by properly? No, I do not mean you need to curtsy and bow and get all that together. What I mean is figure out if you're gonna open an LLC, a sole proprietor, actually institutionalize your business. Yes. And in order to do this, of course, you need to figure out what type of business you actually want to open. Like I mentioned, LLC and sole prop are 2 of the biggest top ones for freelancers. But you also need to get a name, and you need to open a bank account. So sometimes you have to wait till you're incorporated, then you open your bank account, okay? Get your business set up. And the beauty on this is that even if you have, you're gonna use your own name, like I see a lot of witty, beautiful grant writing freelance business names out there, but maybe that sounds witty and unique to you, but somebody already has it. Same with your name. You may have a very common name, or even if you don't, there may be somebody else there with your name. So if I was going to open Holly Rustic Consulting, there may be another Holly Rustic Consulting out there. I don't think so, but you never know. You got to check first. So you do want to run that name through before you do all your branding and all of the things, right? So figure out what type of business you want to open up. Pick a name, make sure that it's not taken, and open a bank account for your business. No commingling here. Step number 2, you need to identify your ideal client and your services. Yes, there are over 1.7 million nonprofits in the United States alone, and that is a lot, okay? There's plenty of work out there. There are plenty of nonprofits to serve. You do not need, or you cannot even serve all the nonprofits. As Pat Flynn says, the riches are in the niches. So it is good to niche down. You can do that in different ways. Sometimes people, grant writers, they like to focus on certain topic areas that they're passionate about and serve those types of nonprofits. Or you might be able to niche down in serving startup nonprofits or established nonprofits, higher education nonprofits, etc. That doesn't mean you only have to serve them. It just means that it gives you a way to focus on. Sure, if other nonprofits come to you and you want to help them, go for it. But at least this helps establish and gets you a way to guide you through your marketing, through what you're going to blog about, or if you're going to write blogs or podcast or YouTube channel, and it gives you some focus. Within this, you also want to set up what types of services you're going to offer. You say, well, it's a freelance grant writing business. I'm going to write grants. Yeah, but I have a lot of freelance grant writing students who only offer writing foundation grants, or only offer writing federal grants, or they do a combination of both, or they also do nonprofit strategic planning, board development, etc. So it is good to have an idea what types of services you're going to offer. This will also help you with your marketing as well. Step number 3, you want to get your branding set up. Okay, now you can do it, all right? So now that you know what type of organization you are, you know what type of nonprofits you're going to serve, and what types of services you're going to deliver, then you want to go ahead, you can create a website and all that fun stuff, including creating a mission and vision statement for your company, organizing your values for your company, and even conducting a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. You may have been doing this for nonprofits, right? Mission and vision statement, SWOT analysis. These are actually services you can do, hint, hint, wink, wink, for nonprofits, but you also need to do them for your company. This will help you with decision making, especially in the future, deciding on what types of nonprofits to take on or what types of projects to take on. You need to make sure it aligns with your mission, vision, and values of your company. And having these created will also help with your branding on what you want to portray your company as. So this is great. Step number 4, you need to create an ideal working schedule. I know, you said, but Holly, I started my freelance grant writing business, or I'm going to start it because I don't want to work for the man. That's okay, but you need to report to someone, and that someone is you. So you might be reporting still to the man or to the woman, right? And you need to make sure that you have a schedule laid out. One of the biggest flaws I see with people who go directly from being employed into freelancing is that they just really don't know how to manage their time. And this leads to big frustration, right? Because they feel like they're working way too much and not getting so much done. Or the time flies and they're not really sure where to get things done or how to work. So it's an interesting concept here, but it really is something that you need to do is create a working schedule before the week starts. Lay out everything that needs to get done, lay out your goals on what you want to accomplish for the week, for the month, for the quarter, right? And stick to that. This is going to help you so you feel more productive and efficient when you're working and you can schedule things out. Another side tip on this is when you have a schedule, you also can really understand then and how you're going to make income because you're going to be scheduling your working time in, your marketing time, and all of that. So this is very important to do. Step number 5, the fun one. All right, you need to develop a pricing model. Of course, you need to figure out how much you're going to charge and how you're going to charge. What I mean by this is obviously you need to figure out your rates, but in doing this, you also need to figure out, are you going to do packages? Are you going to charge hourly? Are you going to do retainers? Are you going to do a combination of those? And that's totally doable, right? But you need to understand how much each of those things are, right? And you need to understand how you're going to lay that forward. So when a nonprofit comes to you, you've done all that time in marketing, then you actually aren't going to be paralyzed in not knowing how to put together a proposal or not knowing if that's a good amount of money that you're asking for, if it's too much, if it's not enough, all of that. So this is really important. This is the second place I see people get stuck on as well. So you definitely want to overcome this by getting ahead, and definitely I have templates. I have so much to how you can actually do this. And believe you me, everybody has to approach this by what their goals are, right? It's not just like charge X to X to X, right? It's like, well, if that's your lifestyle here, then you can do X to X to X, right? So it's really going back and saying, why did I open my company? How is this going to serve me? And then how can I make the income that I want to meet that goal? Number 6, communicate effectively. And what I mean by this is, now that you have all that stuff done, right? When people come to you and they find you, are they actually going to resonate with what you do? Do you actually have a website? Do you have sales copy on that website that really resonates with nonprofits who are looking for your services? Are you just saying, hire me, right? So are you actually saying, I am solving your problem? And do you know what specific problems that they have? Are you offering solutions? So another thing to look for is, are your links going to 404 dead pages and all of that? So definitely make sure your sales copy is working, make sure your LinkedIn copy is working. And a good way to do that too is to ask some friends that you have that work in nonprofits to actually look this over for you. That's a great way because they're going to be able to communicate, well, you know, if you didn't know me, would you hire me, kind of a thing, and they can give you some great feedback. But having effective sales copy is important, and it's not impossible to write. It's actually good if you do write it because it's coming from you and it's coming from your branding, but I would definitely have people look it over. Number 7, now we talk about reaching out. So that was communicating effectively when people come to you. Now I want you to think about marketing. Create a marketing plan, right? We need to create a marketing plan that we love because a lot of times freelancers are, oh no, I don't want to market. I'm an introvert, right? You don't necessarily have to be an extrovert to market effectively at all. And you don't need to be on social media to market, all right? I'm dropping that hat. Boom, all right? Stop stressing about it. There are ways to market that are low-hanging fruits that bring in high income. Referrals is one of those ways. Going to the places where nonprofits are actually hanging out when they want to make decisions, not just to burn time on TikTok, but they're actually hanging out in places to make decisions. That's where you want to go. So you want to really figure out, how can I meet these people? Where are they at? Is that snail mail? Is it calling and making appointments with them? Is it going to networking events? Is it joining Chamber of Commerce's? Is it joining nonprofit alliance communities? There are a lot of different ways that you can really figure out. So brainstorm some ways that where you can meet nonprofit leaders and decision makers who are wanting to make those decisions. Where are they at? And step number 8, diversify your revenue stream. And yes, if you just want to write grants, that is fine. But there are even different ways that you can diversify that. You could teach a grant writing training, right? So not just write grants, but you could actually teach grant writing. You could just write master grant applications. So even if it's just getting nonprofits prepared for when grant openings happen, you could do that. So there's so many different things that you can do to make additional streams of income. So even when, say, if you just write grants for specific federal grant applications that are only open a couple of times a year, and that's when you get most of your income, think about what are ways that you can leverage the downtimes. Another thing you can do to diversify your revenue is to actually create more services or more products, right? So thinking about also doing strategic planning, also doing board training, also helping nonprofits get set up. You can definitely diversify these services. You can offer online courses. You can actually do a lot of different things. Group training, you can travel to seminars, you can be a speaker. There are a lot of different things. You can write a book. There are a lot of different things that you can do to diversify your revenue, because we never want to have all of our eggs just in one basket as entrepreneurs. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. 8 steps to get your freelance grant writing business set up.